Okay, thank you all for coming. I understand you had a brilliant time while you were away, and that sounds really, really good. I've heard nothing but enthusiasm about it. The purpose of this morning is to get you back in step with everybody else in terms of preparing for the dissertation. This is the point at which you do come in, have a brief, you take complete responsibility for what it is that you're going to do. You've been taking more and more, but for this one, it's absolutely your piece of work. I'm going to say some things that you've already heard me say, but I make no apology for repeating them because they are still true. What we're going to do is I'm going to go quite slowly through the brief to familiarise you with it. The brief has most of the answers to most of the questions that you might have. If you find questions popping into your head while I'm doing this, say them now. It will be really useful to say them now and for me to try and answer them, or more likely direct you to the bit of the brief that helps answer them. So just a reminder about what the dissertation is and what it isn't. On the cover it says, what is a VMC dissertation? An art and design study of 6,000 to 8,000 words. Now you've been writing art and design studies. They've been a little smaller than that. So you are doing more of the things that you've already done, but on a somewhat larger scale. Normally has a sequence of interconnected chapters. It asks and answers research questions by looking at evidence, your research. You're familiar with these principles now. This is nothing new to you. Why is it important? It's a major chance to explore ideas important to you. The focus is absolutely on you as a developing practitioner. You have a chance to make use of this space, this time, this piece of work, in order to help you develop as a practitioner. That's what the whole of the balance of your whole course, not just this aspect of it, should be devoted to. So use it, use it. It can be really enjoyable and satisfying. We actually have statistics to show you that it can be enjoyable and satisfying. Everybody who handed in their dissertation in January this year, we got to complete, we gave them an opportunity to complete an online questionnaire. And the number of people who said, that was really good, I really enjoyed that. And that's not to say that this process is without its obstacles and its difficulties, but it can be enjoyable, it really can. And it'll affect the quality of your degree. I don't put that very high up the list, but obviously it's a consideration. Do badly at your dissertation, the chances are you'll drag your degree down a notch. Do well, and you might push it up a notch. So it's worth bearing in mind. Key to the whole thing is helping you develop as a practitioner. That's our ambition for this. So, let's have a look inside. Oh, not there. There. There is the contents page. That tells you everything that's in this brief. And you can see that effectively it's divided up into 3 sections. The first section, 8 steps to VMC dissertation success, is exactly what it says, and we'll be going through those in a moment. The next section, frequently asked questions. This section has been put together by my colleagues and myself over several years because the same questions would keep coming up, and we thought it would be a good idea to have the answers to them ready for you to look at. So do have a look at those. We'll go through some of them later. And then finally some appendices. Somebody asked me earlier about the business of the library being closed over the summer. There's an account of that in there and how you ought to plan for it. Essentially, because the library is moving into the new Gateway building, do come in, have a brief. Because the library is moving into the Gateway building, they're going to be closed during much of August. And the thing that you need to do is use it before then, get books out if that's what you want to do. They will allow you to keep those over the break and then return them afterwards. But you should be aware that it is going to be closed for that length of time. module codes and how to access all of this on Blackboard. This guide is on Blackboard, and the VMC proposal form, which is the first stage of this preparation, you can also download from Blackboard. If you have any trouble accessing Blackboard or getting the form, email Simon Forster and he will help you. So, this is the schedule. We're doing the briefing on the 5th of May, so basically when you come back after the Easter break, you will be submitting your proposal form. I'm going to look at that in some detail in a moment. On the basis of the feedback you get on the proposal, over the summer break, you move the whole thing forwards. You'll be probably doing some of the research connected with the dissertation. You'll have a chance over the summer. I appreciate that you'll be doing other things like working or having a good time, and those are both legitimate activities, believe me. But you should have a chance maybe to do some site visits, maybe to conduct some interviews. Just get the thing moving. If you feel that you're ready to start doing some writing, start doing it. But don't feel compelled to. The next stage, we do a thing that's a sort of mirror test after the summer break. It's a mirror test in the sense that we hold a mirror to your breathing, supposedly breathing dissertation, and we check whether it's still alive. Occasionally they die over the summer. Or sometimes they change. You start finding things out. You've done your proposal, you've said, I'm going to ask this question, I'm going to have a dissertation of this shape in order to answer the question. And we say, yes, fine. And you get out there and you start interviewing practitioners, you start talking to designers, and something that is really interesting crops up that you hadn't thought of. And you start finding out more about that, and before you know it, you've got this body of evidence that isn't answering that question. So at that point, we may need to do some adjustments, either to say, no, answer the question, or to say, ask a different question, so that you can look at that interesting thing. Don't worry, these adjustments can be accomplished, but always be guided by the things that you think are of most interest to you. You certainly shouldn't feel that the proposal is a contract. It's not signed in blood. It's your best idea of what it is you think you're going to do. And that's the basis on which we approve it. We don't hold you to it. There are some institutions where actually you have to sign the thing and then say that's what you're going to deliver. And we absolutely don't do that, because this is the last part of your course. And in all likelihood, you're going to be developing at a much more rapid rate than you have in the first half, because you're starting to get a proper sense of what it is that you want to do. In that sort of state, the chances are that this will be dynamic, it won't be static. So be open to that. Don't worry about it, you'll be supported in it. Having done the 5-minute seminar presentation,